Hi, hello, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sibling Rivalry, a Root one-shot actual play. First of all, thank you to Neon Lights Roleplay for having us on here. This is my first time here. I'm very stoked. Speaking of, I'm Miguel. Pronouns are they, he. I'll be the GM this evening for this wonderful group of players we've got. So let's go ahead and meet them. Let's start off with Kemi.
Hi, that's me. I'm Akemi.
Right.
She, they. Um, I'm playing Etienne. He's a frog, playbook prince, and let's just pass it off.
Yeah. There you go.
Tori, that's you.
Oh, that's me. Oh my goodness. Hi. My name's Tori. You can find me all over the internet as that nerd Tori, and on various streaming channels, including here on Neon Lights Roleplay every other Saturday, playing Chimeriad. But tonight we are playing Root, and I am playing a little black cat named Peepers with the Scoundrel playbook.
Peepers is such a good name. And hi, I'm Mary. You can find me on Twitter or Change of Dice. I use they, she pronouns. And today I am playing Flaley Buckskin, who is the Arbiter playbook.
Very excited for Flavely. Really for everybody. Thank you, one and all. As mentioned, we are playing Root this evening. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Root is a TTRPG based on the board game of the same name, Root, a game of woodland might, I believe is the full title. I always get it wrong, and then I change it, and then it's still wrong. But it is essentially like a strategy board game. You represent one faction in the woodland, trying to control the whole thing. A little bit of a Risk vibe, but with cute woodland animals. So also sort of a Redwall vibe. Our adventure today, what takes place in the woodland of Midwater. Midwater is set between two big old lakes, the endless lake to the north, although everyone knows it's not endless because travelers from other woodlands often visit Midwater coming across the lake, and then also the Great Southern Lake, also not endless. Our adventure today kicks off not quite in any of the clearings of the woodland, but rather trying to look at my map. On the outskirts of one of them, sort of out in the wild. Our group of vagabonds here, our delightful trio, as I'm apt to call play groups of three that I run. Have run into a spot of bad luck. You all had a job go sour not too long ago. It was something you were a job you were assigned to by an old pal of yours, a groundhog here in the same area by the name of Stankton Phillips. Stankton's an old friend, I guess, a longtime friend and colleague. Colleague's a great word for it. Etienne Stankton knew your folks, a lot of shared jobs and whatnot. So, really you'd almost call him an uncle, maybe, that's your vibe. He was kind enough to let y'all lay low in one of his safe houses here. We are somewhere outside of the clearing of Hayfield in what is known as the Wild Prairie. You weren't expecting much when you got to the safe house, but you were also not expecting just a hole in a mound. Essentially, it's the Wild Prairie does have its own rolling hills of tall grasses and such, and it looks like being the groundhog that he is. Why do I keep forgetting his first name? Stankton led you here to, just like not quite a hovel, but if anyone's familiar with the old homes they used to build on the frontier in the Great Plains specifically, they're usually made out of bricks of sod. You're literally just taking earth, piling it. It's something like that, but some of it is also just dug into the hill. The advantage is that the grass has grown over every wall, exterior wall of it, so you're very well hidden. the bounties that all of you have on your heads from both the Airy dynasties and the Marquise, and just something you're trying to wait out. But times are tough, food's running out, and you've received a letter via pigeon post from Stankton saying he's got a job up his sleeve that he thinks might, get y'all back on track, get some coin in your pocket, etc., and has asked that you join him in the clearing of Anura's crossing to the north. So we start our day. It's probably a typical day for all of y'all. You've been here several weeks now, probably fallen into a routine. Let's talk about it. What does everyone do here to kind of get your day going in the baby cave you're living in right now? Dirt cave, maybe.
Honestly, I could have dug a better burrow than this.
Just off the bat, right?
It's cold and it's dark, and I don't like it in here at all. I really hate it. I think this sucks. This blows, guys.
Ah, it feels like home.
Yeah, but you're used to having your skin moist all day.
Yeah.
Moist.
Don't stop it. Oh God. Oh.
Oh, my guts.
If we don't keep our fur dry, we get sick.
Right.
Oh God,
right,
I can
right.
feel it coming on.
Okay, now you're just being dramatic. Come on. Seriously.
Yeah, it's bad. I don't like it in here. It's why I'm gonna go back and take a nap.
No,
You want my
no.
jacket? That'll keep you. It'll keep you a little dry.
Blankets
Keep-
are absorbent.
Keep the jacket, but don't take the nap because we do have shit to do soon.
Oh, we have things to do.
Yeah, didn't you read the letter that we got from Stankton?
I'm supposed to read the letter.
You didn't read the letter.
I figured you read the letter.
I
I
read
thought
the-
everyone else read the.
Did
just tell
neither
me
of you
what-
read the
what's in
letter?
It's not like my forte.
You know what? Why am I not surprised that I am the only responsible one here? I hate how you're not. Ugh. Anyway, Stankson said he has a job for us.
No one chimes in.
But yeah, we're gonna disagree when you're right.
Which is the worst part. I'm just a glorified babysitter.
And a fire putter outer for when I start accidental fires.
Are you
Okay,
sure
but I
they're
haven't-
accidental.
They're accidental if anybody asks.
Haven't been doing that lately because it's been cold.
Mhm.
But as I was saying, Stankton has a job for us, so maybe we can get some money, get the Aryans off of our tushes, our tails, or
Aryans.
You're
your skin, your moist skin. I don't know. You don't have a tail.
That's true.
Ribbit.
you
And
used to have a tail when you were a little kid.
Hey, don't remind me of that. I outgrew that. Okay.
Those
it was a very
youthful
cute tush.
tadpole days.
Very cute tadpole tush. But
I
yes,
can hop much better now that I'm bigger.
yes,
True.
very true. But no, he said he has a job for us. We can get some money, so we hopefully can get out of this hole. Because he didn't build it for us size creatures. He built it for his size.
You know.
That's fair.
Anything to get out of the hole.
Also, I'm bored.
Oh, me too. There's not
Hey,
much left to light on fire around here.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by Kat.
Sorry, I'll put her down.
No, I love her. Keep her.
This is the real life peepers.
So Peepers kind of has to be here. Sounds like.
Sorry, Peepers is playing, not you anymore, Tori.
She makes the decision.
Yep.
She can roll the
This-
dice. It's fine.
It's Peepers game. We just live in it.
Pays the rent.
Proud of
Is that-
her. I'm so proud of her.
So it sounds like y'all are trying to get out of your hole in the ground.
It's not a good hole.
2/3 of us don't like the hole.
And one of us is just so easygoing, I think they'd like anything.
It's comfy here. No frog in a log? It's kind of a log, almost.
No.
It's not.
Okay.
'Cause he told us to go near the lake, right? Or
Uh,
or was it the like plains?
There is a clearing on the shores of the Great Northern Lake called
Okay.
Anura's Crossing, which is where he said he is holed up. We'll say he is in a inn called this is where I do my best work. Random names.
Random name generator. Oh, I
Where would
probably
we
should.
all be?
I probably
without
should
that
look at the
website?
map. But no, he said we're going to the lake, and the lake's got to be better than a moist hole, right?
I do like lakes.
Yeah. So the
I found it. I found it on the map. We're
There you
good.
go. Nice. So yeah, y'all. So if you see Hayfield, y'all are like in the northwest corner of that. Your, we'll say your tiny cave is not so far off the path that it would take long to get there. Usually, when you travel between clearings, there are two different travel moves you can make. One is moving through the wilderness, and one is traveling along the path. You get different options for each. We'll say from your starting position, you have either option because how close you are. We won't say it has to be through the woodland. Right? Like that's rude. That's rude to y'all. But he's asked you to meet him at an inn called the Gentle Moose, which would strike most denizens funny, as moose are creatures of myth, right? No one really believes in them. Some might, but they're basically like
Right?
do what?
They're like kaiju.
Right, that's what they would be. No, like hundo. That's what they would be to the creatures of the
Animals
woodland.
don't actually get that big, guys. Y'all are just naive.
Exactly. No, that's
The
exactly
biggest
what
we've
you mean.
seen, like a bear.
Bears exist. Bears are very rare. They don't really interact. They don't live in clearings. They live in the wilderness. They're like you could equate an bear to like an ogre, maybe. If we're talking other fantasy games, but they're not like ogres. They would definitely speak the common tongue. They're just very quick to anger, and they rarely are ever seen on the paths or clearings or anything. Just in the deep wood.
So I'm ready to clear out whenever the two of you are.
Yeah, let's get the heck out of here. I
Okay.
don't like being wet.
I'm good for getting paid.
Yeah. Yes. I would like something other than just foraging in the woods right now.
I mean, who wouldn't, right?
Right.
So let's go ahead. We're going to do one of two things. One, we're going to determine how much we're actually getting paid for this job, right? Let's find out.
Great.
And then two, we're going to make a travel move to get from where we are to Anura's Crossing.
Hell yeah.
So, it's going to be easy. One of you roll 2d6. Whoever gets to it first. I don't decide. Brace. Just kidding. This is
I have dice. I just don't want to take all the rolls.
It's not competitive. It's not It's cooperative, not competitive. So you don't have to.
I got a 5 and a 3.
So that's an 8 total.
Rolly click clacks.
Cheese and rice. That's great. Stanton has offered you 8 value apiece for
Ooh.
this job, which seems absurdly high for something that he called a no-brainer.
What is he?
Or he called it a milk job. It's pretty easy. Something just to like get your feet wet again, etc.
What is the catch? What is the catch, Stankton?
Yeah, exactly. He's not told you any more details about it.
Yeah, my guess is this is probably not as easy as he said it is.
He thinks it's easy because he doesn't have to do it.
Fair.
That's what I'm betting. I'll bet 1 value on that.
I'm not betting any of my money because I need my money, but I agree with you.
A drink. I'll bet a drink.
There you go.
I'll go with that.
Oh my god, yes.
There it is.
Oh, we didn't describe what we looked like. I didn't describe what I looked like.
I think I did a pretty good job of describing what I looked like by holding my cat.
You know what? Yeah, no, that's a very good call out. Let's pause for creature identification. Before we do so, though,
Backwards.
I also neglected to mention that tonight's stream is a fundraiser. We are raising money for Trans Ohio, a charity dedicated to providing education, advocacy, support, and community to the Ohio greater transgender communities. It'd be awesome if y'all could check out the Tiltify link, donate if you can. We appreciate you just being here, but it's all for a good cause. On that note, yeah, let's go back around the table. Let's all describe our characters a little bit. Let's talk about our frog prince first, I guess. Same order as we did intros.
All right. Etienne, he, the frog, very like athletic. Probably more toward like the that's like giant bullfrog, but not the super tiny tree frog. Somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Has a like very well worn jacket that has obviously been patched up multiple times.
Okay.
They've got a compass in the pockets of the jacket.
Fancy.
Whether or not the compass works properly, no one actually knows. But wherever Etienne goes, it's with him. Little sword. Etienne's like, I should name that, but it's too much effort to name my sword. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. They'll come up with a good name eventually, right?
Yeah.
A
Maybe
good sword gets its name itself.
It has to come to you in the heat of battle.
There you go.
Yeah, it'll come to me at some point, not right now.
Facts.
Peepers?
Tori, how about peepers?
So I am a small black cat who's very angry. And she needs to be put down. She's not having it, but she's sort of long and skinny and sneaky. And I was trying to show you her secret spot of white on her belly, but she doesn't like when people see that.
Oh no.
She's a secret spot. But Peepers wears a like cool duster jacket that's sort of a dark gray. Doesn't quite blend in with her fur, but like a little bit. And she carries a lighter, which I believe the actual term is mouse steel spark lighter, and a dagger. And she's like a cool cat. She's so cool. She thinks she's cool. Is she cool? We don't think so.
You don't?
She thinks she's cool. I don't know
Okay.
if she actually is. She does crave violence.
The jury's still out.
The Erie does think you're cool.
Oh yeah, no, they super don't.
And I am playing Thlaley, who uses he, him pronouns. He is a very larger than average hair with a very like big mop of messy like fur on top. It's just always messy bedhead constantly. He is wearing unassuming chainmail and is carrying a knife at his hip as well as a heavy looking glaive.
Ooh, that glaive.
Glaives are cool. Pole arms are the best weapon, and no one tell no one otherwise.
That's right. Has that glaive ever gotten Thlaley in trouble? Just
Probably.
Like having it. Yeah, of course.
Most likely.
Righteous. If
Have I thrown it when I'm not supposed to? Absolutely.
You should have given
Who
that.
hasn't thrown weapons?
Listen, I did think about giving the glaive the throne property. I will not lie, but I did not.
That's fair. That's fair. I haven't seen it yet, but I'd like to see, like, on character creation, someone just spend all of their value just like on one item, just to make.
Are
Just to,
there
like,
any things that cost your full value?
They can. What equipment is very, at least at start, is very modifiable.
Mm-hmm.
So you can add and remove tags as you like, as long as you don't spend more than your starting value on your equipment total. And then if you balance it with like negative tags, you can really stretch what you can do with them, because every time you get a negative tag, it reduces it by one value, so it's cheaper to make. Equipment's fascinating in this game. I feel
Yeah,
like
really.
it takes a while to really even get it. And then they have like a whole little math equation, and they're like, equipment value equals this plus this plus this minus this plus this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fun stuff. If I may ask one thing of Peepers, was Peepers in Midwater in the woodland before the Marquise, or like does Peepers come from a family that maybe Peepers isn't old enough, isn't older than the war, right? That's possible.
Right.
But did
Yeah,
Peepers'
it's-
family live here before the Marquise, or did they come with the invaders?
Peepers comes from a place far from here.
Okay.
That's the background description I picked. And she's definitely young. She's not old enough to predate the war.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so somewhere far from here, but not part of the Cat Empire, then. That sent the
know?
Marquise.
No, yeah, she is part of the Cat Empire, but she keeps that a secret.
I like it. Right.
What no one knows won't hurt me.
Exactly. If anybody asks, I'm only a normal cat, just a regular.
You're just
I
a
dig it.
baby.
I'm just a baby. I'm baby.
Peepers is baby. All right. We know who we have to protect above all else. Everyone, all three of you are precious to me.
Oh, I'm gonna have to protect these two.
I predict that you're right there. Okay, so it sounds like we're ready to get out of our hovel and get on to. Are you okay? What happened?
Cat, don't mind me. If I make faces,
Okay.
it's because my cat's is stabbing me.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, no, I have marks on my arm from that tussle with Peepers.
My cat
Fine.
DJ Roomba is surprisingly not here.
DJ Roomba?
He turns it up. He's always here when I stream, and he usually just does a walk across.
I will
I don't know where
wait
he is.
patiently.
Yeah. Okay, so it sounds like we're ready to get out of this hovel. We are ready to roll. What do I want to do is core rulebook. I had this pulled up and then I changed. You know what's so good about using the PDF instead of the books I have is how quicker I can get through everything. Okay, so we're making a travel move. Travel moves come in two flavors. You can travel through the forest, or you can travel using a path. Generally speaking, using the path is quicker, safer usually as well. You don't you probably won't incur as many risks. And through the forest, it's kind of the opposite is true, I guess you could say. They each have options, so you have like an option of like how fast or how slow you go, and then that will determine what resources you have to spend to accomplish that, or which ones you gain by, say, going slower. I am popping a couple of things into the Discord right now because I just realized it might be helpful for y'all to have, and they are descriptions of each move. Essentially, like whichever one you take, you have the option to go slowly, carefully, or as quickly as possible, más o menos. And then generally the trade-off is like if you go slowly, you probably have to use up depletion, and you get a negative to your roll. If you go, the quicker you go, the more positive your roll is. The roll is going to determine what kind of danger you do or do not get into as you make your way across the path or forest.
How long would it take if we went just average on both routes? How long would it take?
Time is inconsequential. It does not
Okay.
affect the roll. It's going to take, for y'all, I would say 2 days on the path, 3 on the woods. If we want to put numbers on them, yeah.
All right, kiddos. Where are we going?
Wherever Stinky told us to go.
Well, but we gotta get there. Do we want to stay on the down low. I know, and where we want to just kind of rush it and get there quick.
I mean, I just want to go. I want to get there. I want my money. I want to get out of this cave. I want to get somewhere comfy. I say we rush it.
I mean, we still have there's wanted posters of us, aren't there?
Are there?
You all do have bounties still.
Yeah, definitely
Um,
wanted posters.
Active bounties from the Marquise and also the Aerie dynasties. You are closer to Marquise territory than you are Aerie right now, though. So, but the war encompasses the whole woodland, so you can always run into Aerie soldiers anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Just less chance of it over here.
Yes. To answer your question, yes.
We might want to take it slightly slower
No,
and
leaving it.
take it through the woods then.
Try and we can. There's more things to burn in the woods,
Okay, fine.
but please don't
Nice.
actually. Please
Burn
don't actually do that. That'll. People will find us if you start setting fires.
Unless you set a fire and then run away from it really quickly so nobody
No.
knows it was you.
No,
Just-
please don't. Please don't make me
But let's not
confiscate.
take out the forest.
Yeah,
just
Okay.
stand
Yeah,
around.
forest fires are bad.
yeah, we'll have more than just the Marquise and the Aries near
Only
after
you
us.
can prevent forest.
Did Peepers just come up with that? Fantastic.
Right.
Okay, so we're traveling through the
You can
forest.
prevent forest fires by not lighting things on fire.
True.
So it sounds like we're gonna go through the forest and carefully avoid trouble? Question mark?
That'd be your middle ground.
Yeah.
Probably.
good.
Although troll tends to find us anyway.
Okay, so if we're traveling carefully, avoiding trouble, you will collectively mark 1 depletion or exhaustion for everyone, for each member of the party. So that means the 3 total. You can combine them however you like, depletion or exhaustion, and you can also take them however you like. So one of you could take 3 depletion and call it good. You could each take 1 of whatever type you want. Someone could take 2, another person could take 1. I don't know if there's other options.
I would like to not
Agree.
take too many exhaustion because my weapon has an trait that needs to mark exhaustion.
Sure. What is depletion again?
Gotcha. Depletion is what you got in your pockets, right? Let's say you want to pick a lock and you do a bad lock pick. And I say, well, you broke your lock pick. That costs you 1 depletion because it was just like something you had on you, right? It's like a plot point, a plot device. You can say, I mark 1 depletion and find flint and whatever goes with it.
Got it.
The other thing, or I mark 1 depletion. I have enough money. Or I find enough coin to produce 1 value's worth of coins. Something like that, or find scissors. Just stuff you have on you.
I'll mark an
So-
exhaustion since Peepers doesn't want to mark an exhaustion.
I
There
will
you go.
mark a depletion in response.
So yeah, and I'll say the depletion you mark would most likely in this case, in this scenario, represent the food you'd be eating on the way there. If you don't
I
mark
think I'll take
depletion,
depletion as well.
there you go.
For flavor, I think what happens at some point is for my exhaustion, you're just being lazy, Peepers, and I have to carry you at some point.
Ah,
That's
I can't
beautiful.
go on any longer.
Grab Scruff, let's go.
And
Okay.
depletion makes sense because I love snackies.
It's perfect. Okay, so then now one of you gets to roll with a 2d6, and you get to add 1 to your roll. You want a 7 and up, not a 7 up, but a 7 or above. I mean, you can drink whatever you want. I don't
Just
care. But
Quick
Let's
say
question:
that
game sucked.
Quick question: Were we marking how many depletions and how many exhaustions total?
3
it's a
between all of us.
There you go.
So 3 depletions and 3 exhaustions.
No, just
No.
a mix and match total of 3.
Oh, okay. I was so
Any
confused. I was like,
combination.
I don't think we should die. That's very scary to take 3.
Do you want to roll a Kemi?
Sure, why not?
Why not?
I have exactly 7.
And then I guess it was
Including the plus 1.
Including plus 1. Thank you. Okay, on a 7 to 9, something from the forest is following you. You can. Oh well, sorry. Let me rewind. I want to read the entire result. On a hit, You pass through the forest to any clearing on the other side. Along the way, one of you spots an interesting sight. You leave markers so you can return after you finish your trip. So that just means that, it becomes a spot on your map. You'll be able to return to it wherever. One of you, or all of you, let's say any of you, right? Along the way, you're traveling through the wild plains. You haven't quite hit the forest to the north of you yet, which will take you the rest of the way to the clearing of Anura's Crossing. You come across, it's very hidden. Like, you wouldn't have seen this from the road. What looks like to be another one of Stankton's safe houses. Do you go in? I mean, you can, or you can just mark it for later and say, "Hey, we'll come back to this someday," or you would never do.
Me to everyone else. Do we have free reign of all of his safe houses, or just that one?
You didn't know he had others,
I didn't know there's others.
or at least
I
not in
wanna
the
see what's in
area.
there.
We'll say
Could it be another? What is he? A hedgehog?
Jog.
he is a groundhog.
Groundhog. Okay. It could be just another groundhog's home. And if that's the case, I kind of don't want to just break and enter.
That would be rude.
And you all would know groundhogs are pretty common around this part of the woodland.
I mean, we could just move on and then ask Stankton about it later.
Yeah, especially if it's not his. That would be awkward.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Put a pin
Okay.
in the map.
He did say we were supposed to get there like rather quickly, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was some time-sensitive job, he said.
Most
So
of the
yeah,
jobs are.
so we marked our spot, and then on a 7 to 9 specifically, something from the woodland is following you. The wilderness is following you. You can let it track you, which doesn't necessarily mean it catches up with you, right? It just continues to track you. Who knows what it is or what it's doing or what its agenda is. It could be a bear, and then it does eat you, right? Or everyone marks 1 exhaustion to lose it. So you all notice along the way you're going through the tall grasses, cresting these sort of like soft hills, and then down above the grass probably comes about to like this height on most everyone, right? But you do begin to hear some rustling, first from the right, you go a ways, then it's from the left, and then it's behind you. It's infrequent, but you're catching it just enough to know that it's something out there is tailing you, but you can't quite pinpoint where it is.
Gosh, I just want to bum rush it.
I think we should lose this tail. I don't approve of it in any
Hopefully I
way.
can keep up. I'm tired. Old bones.
Sucks for you. Yeet.
Come on. The decision has been made for me.
Unless anybody wants to be like, no, fuck you, come back.
Oh, I'll race you now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, let's go.
I have no choice as I
Mark 1
yeet.
exhaustion to yeet.
Yep.
I have the zoomies.
God damn it!
Your
Get on all
zoomies
fours.
get my zoomies to go, okay, it's time to race.
Can we do like a race check? Because I'm also a hare. We have a cat and a frog going hoppy hop. Strap that glaive to my back and yeet.
If y'all want to.
What do we roll to race?
Go and roll.
I'm gonna say this is so there's no outright like
The finesse roll?
raising right. I would say, and I'm gonna give you a choice. You can either roll. It's 2d6. You either roll with finesse or might.
Finesse.
I'm mostly going based off power now.
Oh no!
Question: can I use this acrobatics?
It'd be the same roll.
Okay.
It's a 3 total because I have a +1 to finesse, but I rolled snake eyes.
Oh no.
I got a 12.
Oh yes.
I like that the old bones is the one that wins.
just pure determination and power is throwing me along.
I'll be honest.
Uh,
I'm like, oh sorry, go.
Got a 6.
I think we know who won. No, but in terms of older people and whatnot, I'll be honest. I'm 40, and like I know I'm in so much better shape than I was when I was like 25. It's not even funny. So it happens sometimes. It's all gonna go downhill from here, right? Because these bones ain't getting stronger. So
Peepers had the zoomies, but it's that thing where cats have the zoomies and they just run the length of the house and then they're like asleep.
so you're right. Yeah, even though you don't run quite as fast as your hare companion, you all make it safely to Anura's crossing. We'll say it's like
Oh, we all mark exhaustion.
right. Yeah, everyone
Yep.
marks one. We'll say because of your rush to lose your tail, you were able to shave a bit of time off of your travel. So you arrive in about 2.5 days. It's about, we'll say, late afternoon of the third day of your travels. You're dusty. You know, some of you have like bits of grass seed and stuff stuck into your clothing from the tall grasses. You eventually did get into the woods, so there was a bit of, you know, you'd actually walk without things just constantly wrestling on you, and yeah, the travel through the woods was uneventful. No more whatever it was following you through the grasslands stopped at the edge of those. As soon as you got out of the grasses, you could tell it did not leave that. As you see Anura's crossing to the north, you start to see what looks like a moderate-sized fishing community. It looks not divided, but rather organized. Like, you know, you can, but from what you've heard of Anura's crossing, because it is a ¿Dónde está my map? The way it was, because of its history, the way it was founded, there is a rather large Anuran enclave here. So a part of the clearing that's specific and exclusive to people who follow who are members of the Anura collective. The rest of but however, they still abide by the laws and everything of the clearing, right? They just have like their
Is
own.
the Anura collective a cult?
Depends on who you ask, I guess.
That's the best kind.
The Anura started as when they came to Midwater, they came from the south, and it was a group entirely of frog folk. They settled what is now the clearing of Gramble's Log, far to the south. Not everyone stayed, however. The Anura are fond of going on pilgrimages and quests to find enlightenment or create art or just find knowledge to bring back and make the collective better. So several decided to continue north, and with plans to cross the great endless lake. Some they landed here at Anura's crossing. Some, you know, second verse, same as the first. Some were like, "This is good enough. We're gonna settle here," and others, you know, used the crossing as a point to build a ship and sail across the northern, or sorry, sail across the endless lake.
I've decided they're cool and not a cult.
It's fair. Also, kind of socialists. I like to banter that word around. You know, they just, you know, they make sure everyone's housed and fed and give everyone equal voice in their governance. So, but specifically here in the clearing, there's like a mayor and a town council, and you know, the Anura abide by the rules of the clearing because they're, despite being the founders of it, they don't claim exclusive rights to it. Right? They have neighbors. They respect them as neighbors. Many other types of folk have found their way to this clearing and have found homes here that are not Anura, and that's just fine with them, right? They're happy to share the land and provide for all, etc. A lot of them are fishers, some are farmers. There's not a lot of farming around here, though, by proximity to the lake, and the proximity to hayfield also makes it kind of unnecessary because you get a lot of your produce, we'll say, from that direction. Breadbasket of the woodland. That's what it is. Point of clarification: not all frogs are Anura, and not all Anura are frogs. They are happy to allow members of other species, join their ranks. But primarily, yeah, they're frog types. Toads. Even saw a turtle once. Unlike other clearings, there's no real they're walls. They're wooden. They're not stone like, say, the walls of Peregrine's Perch or Willow's Peak. But the gates are wide open, so it's not like there aren't guards checking everyone's stuff. Like, hey, what are you bringing in? What are you taking out? Not that you see that often other parts of the woodland, but here it's rather folks are coming and going. There seems to be just like the energy is like some of the work is winding down. Some people are still going. You can see beyond the clearing. You can see the lake pretty clearly from where you are through the buildings and everything. The clearing. There's still quite a few ships out or boats out fishing, but you can tell some are slowly coming back in. Mostly dirt paths on the way up. No one's really paying you any mind, etc. As you walk in and you take it all in.
Hey, Etienne. You think you can convince Stanton to pay for a room for us at the inn?
You can certainly ask.
I'm tired. I'm really tired.
It would be nice to have bed again.
Yeah. Hot meal.
Oh, yes. Bed, soft blankets, pillows. Ideal.
How do you get rid of exhaustion? Because I have 2.
Food will clear exhaustion, and rest will clear exhaustion.
Okay.
Depending on the quality of rest you get, it will clear more or less exhaustion. So camping, a small amount. Comfy bed at an inn, more. Same with food, right?
Perfect. All right.
It's not hard to get directions to the Gentle Moose. You find it an inn on the lake shore, right? It's not necessarily in the docks district, but it is on the lake itself. It has 2 stories. The entrance is pretty nice. It's like, and it looks like an older wooden building with, it got one of those like old timey hanging signs on it with just like a moose carved into it, or at least what the artist's interpretation of a moose, since no one's ever really seen one. They're just described in the stories. It looks like a 4-legged creature with these sprawling horn antler things coming out of its head, and it looks like it's just gently grazing in a meadow.
Moose creep me out.
Can't be real, can they?
No, because what kind of creature grows like tree branches out of its head?
I was muted. Yeah, they're absolutely not real. And also, I think that's a poor choice of things to put on the sign for your business because it's kind of scary.
I feel like it's like jinxing.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool. They still don't exist, so.
No, definitely not.
No,
Absolutely not.
No.
Of course not. Of course not, right. You walk in, and it's a pretty plain establishment. There are round tables about, no, scratch that. There are like community style, like long bench tables, like there's 2, right? See people interspersed between them in their small groups of 2s and 3s. They take down the middle. They take up the middle of the section, and then along the walls there are just like those classic little drink shelves with stools and stuff, with like sort of an L-shaped bar that takes up the back right part of the establishment. You see a larger badger tending bar there, polishing a glass, sharp kind of vest, and darkened fur right here, that resembling a mustache. Otherwise his face is white, within with like the stripes here and whatnot. He sees y'all and just raises a head, like a nod in as a greeting. He says, "Welcome, travelers, to the, what did I call this? I already forgot it. The Gentle Moose. Name's Benny Blanco. I'll be right with you. Just grab a spot wherever you like. 3-siders?
Yes,
We're actually
please.
meeting someone.
No.
But cider is wonderful.
Wouldn't be mean that Stankton fellow, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, stinky.
He said he's stinky.
I'm glad I
Yep.
was not the only one thinking it.
I mean,
His name has been pronounced like 5 different ways by this group in the last like half an hour.
Stankton Phillips. It's with an F too. It's not a PH. It's Fillips. That's how groundhogs do. Yeah, that Stankton fella. He said he was expecting three acquaintances. Took out one of the private rooms. Most folk just use the common room upstairs, bunch of bunks and whatnot. But he sprung for one of the private. It's here around the corner.
You hear
I
now?
wager he's asleep because the last time I walked by his door, I heard, not to speak ill of no one, but I heard some mighty snoring coming out of that room.
Crap.
Welcome,
Let's go wake him up.
Yeah,
Make it
it's
4 ciders.
Yeah.
You bring him one.
Yeah. Also, it's
Yeah,
like what, past noon because it took us 2.5 days to get here, right?
It's like 3.
Like he should not be sleeping right now. Like we need to wake him up.
Are
Yeah, it's like
groundhogs nocturnal?
I think
3 or
they
4
are.
days.
Oh, are they? I
don't think
don't
they
know.
I don't know.
I don't
This
know.
one's
I don't
not.
live in the land of groundhogs.
They're diurnal, mostly active during the day. Okay.
Okay, nope. Let's go wake
What up,
this
Google?
dude up.
Wake him up. Yeah, you find the door to his room, no problem. It looks like there really are only 2 private rooms down here. One, the door's like kind of ajar on one. You can see another badger in there is like changing sheets, kind of cleaning it up. The one it's like on to the left side, and then to the right of that, across this little corridor, right, is another room. Yes, plain wooden door and it's got a little do not disturb hanger on it and everything.
Were we given the extra cider?
Yeah, you oh yeah.
Okay.
So no, you get 4, and he Benny Blanco, the bartender's like on his tab, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Or
100%.
works for me, he says. Nice. How do you get all Stankton's attention?
Bang on the door.
Can do we all do it? Because I like to imagine I take my foot and just do the whole rabbit thump 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 thing.
That's good. That's effective.
It's either that or I was gonna use my paws, and have you ever seen a hare go to bat with their front paws?
No, that sounds terrifying.
It's kind of terrifying.
I think in the
good.
same vein, Etienne is gonna instead of the thump thump thump, because it doesn't quite do the same. She's gonna do the one, just leap toward the door and just thunk, one hit.
like a frog jumping into like a pane of glass.
And I'm gonna do.
Bap, 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 bap.
Bah, 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 bah.
Are you
On the
gonna
door.
claw at the door, like scratch?
Oh, yes. No, that's actually her favorite activity. So, yes, I'm actually going to scratch on the door because I want food. And he needs to pay for it.
Right. So Etienne, for the jump, I think that merits a trust fate roll. You're sort of just, I don't know. Yeah, I basically want to see if you break this door down or not. And as the GM, I'm going to say this is a point of uncertainty in the narrative. So and Root loves those. So right here, we're going to trust fate. So when you trust fate to get through trouble, and that's very vague. There's a broad interpretation of that. You roll with luck. On a hit, You scrape by or barrel through. The GM tells you what it costs you. On a 10 or plus, fortune favors the bold. Your panache also earns you a fleeting opportunity.
Right, so I'll roll.
Yeah. I'm going to adjudicate it a little differently, maybe, but, I just love this one because anything could happen.
2, 10.
Okay. Fuck, yes. Look at you go. Okay. So, yeah, you spring up. You hit it just like on the right spot to where the door doesn't even break. Like, y'all can hear the lock come undone and it just like swings open as if it would be unlocked. Etienne, you were able to do it in such a way that you do kind of like a little front flip and you land. Stankton is still asleep. None of this disturbed him. He's just in there, one leg out of the covers, kind of like flopped over the side of the bed. He's definitely drooling. The snoring is pretty loud. And then every now and then you hear him muttering like he's talking in his sleep. But the only thing he's saying is he has sort of a phrase he always says that he's like, I've always got my nose to the ground. And he's like, so in his sleep, like, no, nose to the ground. Guys, like, I got a big payday.
I give Peepers a look. Like, do what you need to do, look.
And then Peepers is gonna go over and just start tapping him in the face. Stankton! Stankton!
Like on the third or fourth one, he's like, who's there? I don't know you, money.
Not yet, you
Not
don't. Hey!
Oh, bless my eyes, now if it isn't my delightful trio. How are y'all? Glad you got the letter.
You sleep deeply, my friend.
Well, No, that's it. He's not following that up with anything. So finally decided to get out of that hole in the ground, huh? Do I smell
Yeah.
ciders?
Yeah.
The hole in the ground was very damp and I didn't really enjoy it.
Yeah, I suppose. Didn't account for people wanting non-groundhog accommodations. Should maybe.
That was pretty nice.
I'll make a note of that the next time I'm saving someone from getting arrested and helping them hide out from the authorities for weeks.
Yeah. Thank you for
For
your
sure.
consideration.
I'll make sure. Like,
At least a blanket or some straw so we don't freeze so we can continue helping you with jobs. And not die.
Yeah. Well, hopefully after this job, you won't have to go back to that stinking hole in the ground. You can afford something a little nicer.
Yeah, speaking of
think that-
jobs.
8 value, huh? For a cakewalk.
Yeah, well, I found some very I found some people in need of help. Happen to have very deep pockets. Able to convince them you're worth every coin. Minus my cut. Which I've already taken into consideration. So don't worry about old Stinkton.
Okay, so the 8 is with you already have taken your cut.
Correct.
Okay.
Good to
Yes.
know. Good to know.
I wouldn't do
So
you dirty
what is
like
this
that.
job?
So yeah, what's the job, Stankton?
Well, y'all obviously heard of the Anura.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, let's take this outside. Let's not outside. Let's grab a table.
Yeah, let's maybe over dinner.
One
I'd
of those,
love some food. Thank
one
you,
of those-
Stankton. Thank you for your offer of dinner.
one of those ciders from me.
Yes.
All right, let's go. Dinner it is, he says. Stankton's a groundhog about town. You know what I mean? So he's met. It seems like he's got you come out and like he just like says something to the bartender, to Benny Blanco, the badger. Woof, that's almost cringy alliteration. I need to think about that. Let me think on my choices. He said, the usual times 4. He says, and just to a table, plops down, grabs his cider. He says, now, There's a little story about a rare, interesting artifact, we'll say, out in the woods near Hollowstone. You know, up on the peninsula. Anyway, some time ago, a group of Anura folk were, believe it or not, coming down from across the endless lake. I thought that was impossible, seeing as it didn't end, but I guess I was just wrong about that. These folks were on one of those, one of those quests they do out into the world to spread enlightenment and whatnot. And one of them decided to, let's see, they went off to create a statue to commemorate a time in Anura history. Now, one thing leads to another, displacement, destruction, this and that. That statue somehow ends up in the middle of the woods, outside of Hollowstone. No one knows how or why, they just know it's there. Some Anura, some months back, found it, tagged it, and now, after crossing the lake and coming back, they've come here to Anura's Crossing looking for some folk to help them retrieve it. Now, I honestly, first of all, thought of y'all because one, you need the coin, and two, I think you're very well suited for a job like this. As long as you don't run into Marquise or airy trouble, you should be able to get there, find this statue, help them bring it to the shore, where they should have a ship waiting on the lake itself, on the peninsula after all, right? And they'll take care of the rest.
How big is it?
Seems easy.
That's the part. Yes. When I say statue, I do mean life size. My understanding is a statue of two Anura folk, on one big base. So made of, I don't know, what's a fancy rock? Marble? No, that's for countertop.
These feathers, so it'll be easy.
It's marble. Or something. Some
So,
kind of rock.
like,
Limestone?
roughly
That's a rock.
the size of two Etiennes, but extremely heavy.
Now you got the idea.
How do you
I
expect
have
us?
little arms.
Let me rephrase. How do you expect us, probably me and Etienne, to get that statue to the shore?
Well, I mean, the Anura are coming with you. There's at least three of them. I'm sure between the lot of you, you'll figure it out. Maybe make a little sled out there. I don't know. One of you is a tinkerer, right? Always tooling around with little things. Or am I thinking another group?
Might be the other group.
You're my
Actually,
favorite
no,
one, though.
Nope. Our buddy who had to go hide out is a tinkerer.
Oh,
Momo.
right. You, Momo, yeah. Ran into some extra trouble. Had to go deeper into hiding.
Yeah.
I understand.
Deep underwear.
I'm gonna miss Momo. Could have really used the
Momo's
help.
crafty. They'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll get Momo back soon enough.
Look it through.
Oh no, that was a heretic. Oh well. Slight rewrite, doesn't matter. As in the middle of your conversation, Benny the Blanco comes out with a tray. First it's like a first course situation, right? It's like a nice couple warm loaves of bread. They've already been sliced, very fluffy, right? Wrapped up, so it's just like piping hot in there. With like a spread of like jams, butters, creams, spreadable cheeses, things like that. The second course comes out. It's kind of like it's a very large, like like family style serve. Like so you each get an individual bowl, but a big bowl of this. We'll say it's like mid fall since it has been like damp and cold and whatnot, right? So like some late summer lettuces, like a little bit of tomato that I guess they've kept, since those were in season, maybe probably the last of the season, right? And then just like the the beginnings of their like kind of fall root vegetables that have kind of been roasted. Your usual S&P, garlic, onion, maybe some sage to, whatever, all served with this sort of herbed balsamic vinaigrette as well, just to like nice little toss. Served it all out. There's still like maybe half of it is still left in the bowl, so y'all can definitely reserve yourself more if you like. And then the soup course comes out. It's not exactly
fancy establishment.
Listen, I spend like 30 minutes of every session I run describing food. I can't I can't GM any
Yummy.
other way. It's a flight of soups. You all each get like a small cup of 4 different. There's a carrot bisque. There's a little we'll say like a leek soup. Something of like another little root vegetable stew. And the last is a French onion dip with like, complete with a little bread on top and everything. It's like a tiny little, like, just little guy of bread like that.
So good.
Just bam, bam, bam. 3-course meal.
Love it.
I eat it all, but it's so awkward. This is uncomfortable. This is way too fancy for my ass.
You got the cloth napkins and everything.
Peepers is just in her element. It's like, I'll have some of that, and I'll have some of that, and I'll try and steal food off other people's plates, and I'll... Delightful. Not paying attention to the conversation anymore.
Yep.
Tian is trying to think of how to steal the silverware.
Good.
Did you take sleight of hand or not sleight of hand? Is that what it's called? I always call it that, but it's something else. Sneak of hand as a roguish feat.
It's sleight of hand. It's written as sleight of hand in the roguish feat.
Oh, it is, isn't it? I always call acrobatics athletics, and I get that. And I call sneak stealth. So something to break that out. Okay, but did you take it as a roguish feat?
So he's thinking about how to do this.
Perfect. So not quite attempting yet. Yeah, I dig it. No, perfect. Stankton's like kind of wrapping up. He's like, they're set to meet me here in the morning. You got till then to decide if you really want to take on this job or not. I just figured you all had first right of refusal, seeing as we go way back, and you really need the coin.
Yeah, it's not like we have many options.
If you turn it down, I bet I can line someone else up for this.
Yeah, I don't think we really need to talk about it, right?
What? What are we talking about?
Right, Etienne?
Yeah, and it's not like we have many other options.
Man, this bread is so good.
Someone please DoorDash me fresh bread.
Papers. How are you at picking silverware? I'm not very good at this. Do you think you can do it?
I'm sneaky, but I'm not very like... You know what I mean? Sneaky, but I'm not like, hey, look over here.
Laying my head down. Please don't.
Okay, fine.
Fine. Yeah. I don't think we need silverware.
It's heavy. Do you really want to carry that? It's heavier than the other silverware we have. The travel stuff.
That's so much nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you want to carry it?
I guess I don't.
We're already screwed by other people. Do we want to be
Yeah,
screwed
we don't want
by
to make more
more?
enemies. You're right.
Yeah.
That is also a good...
Okay.
Everybody gonna finish their bread. Take bread.
Just grab it.
I hand you my last slice.
Benny sees you, and he is a great host, right? He runs this place shipshape. He hears you from the bar, and just kind of like from across the room, he says, I can bring another basket.
Bread.
And produces another just like perfectly warmed basket of bread, like a full loaf. it's like it's been heated to the point where like the crust has got a nice little, like crunch to it. It's or not crunch, it's got that. But the inside is still just warm and
Good.
soft.
Good. Where's bread? I want bread.
I really do now too. God damn
It's the
it.
problem with food and TTRPGs.
Yeah, I do this to myself, honestly. All the time. Yeah, so Stankton's like, yeah. So happy to hear it. He's like, Benny, this is all on my tab, of course. Right. Yeah. Yes, and their stay for the night. Put them up in the common room, 3 beds, please.
Fair.
Oh, it's that, or you share my room. And there's not.
No.
You've seen there's not a
No.
lot of space
No.
in there.
We're good.
Mm-mm. I'm
This is
a
fine.
groundhog who likes his privacy.
Privacy you shall have.
Well, I had, seeing as I'm semi-retired, I really had nothing else going on until our guests, patrons, till our Anura friends show up. No one's fitting the bill, I'd say. Oh shoot, yeah. Okay.
Keep.
It says, I'd say you 3 are fine to explore the clearing if you'd like. Settle in. I know it's been a long journey down the road, or however you got here. If you could join me fishing, that's what I'm doing. He sets off to his room. He's like, grabbing my pole, and I'll be out the door. Otherwise, we'll see you in the morning, he says. So the meal probably took he's long-winded, probably about an hour and a half, right? So let's figure out what we're doing the rest of the day. Before we do that, though, let's go ahead and we're going to take a quick break, folks, so we can all stretch our legs and make sure we're at our tip-top best for y'all. So
Yeah.
please, please, please don't go anywhere. We're very stoked that you're here with us. Don't forget to donate to Gonna Get It Right First Time. Trans Ohio. A very great cause. We go maybe 5 or 10. Please be here when we get back. We'd love to see you.
Bye.
Hi, hello, good evening, and welcome back, everyone. Sorry we took a little longer than we'd said. Tiny technical difficulties there to figure out, but we did it. So
My Discord
congratulations.
entirely crashed.
Hey, we're back. That's all that matters, right?
Technology sucks.
We are. It's called sibling rivalry. We are a Root actual play here on Neon Lights Roleplay. As a reminder, we are raising funds this evening for Trans Ohio, so please check the Tiltify link in the chat if you haven't already. It'd be cool if you did. Well, let's get back to it. So, where do we leave off? I believe we were having a pretty exceptional dinner with our good friend Stankton Phillips. Groundhog always has his nose to the ground, offering you a cakewalk of a job worth 8 value apiece, which is no small sum, right?
Sleeps like
etc.
a rock.
Yes, indeed. He has little dollar signs floating around his head when he sleeps. Whatever the currency symbol is in the woodland. I don't think I haven't gone that far in the lore.
It's an acorn, isn't it?
It's a what?
It's an acorn, isn't it?
It might be now.
A large
Just
bill.
lend
is
me a
pine
few
cone.
corns.
Yep. So yeah, Stankton will let you know that 3 members of the Anura collective, not any native to the woodland, but rather some from outside of Midwater, have come to recover a rather large statue that is very, I don't want to say sacred because that implies there's some sort of religious aspect to it, but it's very important to them. It is revered within their community, within the collective, for reasons of remembering their history and honoring their ancestors, sort of deal, right? classic, hey, these people were cool, so we made a statue about them. But it's lost in the woods out there somewhere because of a series of hijinky events that led to it being removed from the island of Reverence and somehow ending up here. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. So, Stankton has gone off. He's fishing the rest of the evening. He's going to try to catch some night salmon. That's a thing now.
They're like glow in the dark salmon.
Yeah, just like Zeldy. Anyway, so he's like, "You're happy to, welcome to join me, but I'll be taking in the lake, the night lake air. It's not an ocean. It can't be that. Before I settle in, blah blah blah. We can RP things that you want to do the rest of the evening, or we can montage it, or we can just say you were all exhausted, collapsed, and we wake up the next morning. I leave it to y'all."
Don't bother me. Don't get in trouble. Don't make me have to come rescue you. I am going to bed.
I'm just gonna go for an innocent little walk.
I think we can go for a swim. It's been a while since I've done that.
There you go. All right. So it sounds like our good rabbit friend Flaley. Yeah, I remember names. Is hanging out. You head upstairs in the common room. It's it's like hostel vibe, right? It's kind of like a long. It encompasses the entire top floor of the establishment, and it's just bunk beds, just 2 rows, with 2 tiny little foot lockers at the base of each one. So each person bunk can has one. You can tell there are belongings and such in some. It's empty-ish right now because it's still a bit early for bedtime, but y'all have had 3 days of travel, so of course you're gonna be
Time for a
exhausted.
bath too.
Yeah, they got that here, and because of how empty it is, it's very, you get like the bath, like dibs, bath is
all the
open.
hot water for me.
Yeah, no one's in there right now. You ring down. There's like a little bell, like ring for bath. You did, and you just signals Benny, the he's not just the bartender, but he is the
Proprietor.
yeah, exactly, proprietor of the establishment. He starts heating up water and stuff, and it doesn't take too long. He brings it up. Boom, nice hot bath. They've got like a lavender soap going on. He lights a few scented candles in there too to really kind of like get a kind of relaxing mood going on. There he is. DJ Roomba has entered the chat.
So fancy.
He's not on screen yet, but he's about to be. Yeah, do it. Just go, because I know you're gonna walk on my keyboard.
Cat, come here, please. Come on.
DJ Roomba, I need to meet you.
On my way. Well, come here.
DJ Roomba!
Oh,
Look at his face.
baby.
I'm a big guy.
That's a tank.
That
He
is
20
a
pounds.
unit. That's a unit.
He 20, 22
Oh.
pounds.
That's
love
twice
him.
the size of Peeper. She only weighs.
Yeah. When other people
Cats.
with like normal size cats come over, they're like, "That is your cat? What is that?"
Hello, DJ Roomba. Good boy.
He's awesome. He's
My
like,
roommate has 2 20-pound cats, so it's like these 2 big chonkers and then little Persephone, but she's in charge.
As she
he's
should
like
be.
13 now. Wow. You an old man.
Yeah.
Baby.
I will take my bath.
Mm-hmm.
Very awkward in this lap of luxury.
Mm-hmm.
Good
It is a rather
clean.
nice establishment.
Yeah, it's too fancy for me. Slick back my hair, but I will go to sleep and then I will awake and have bedhead again. I don't care if it's early, I'm going to bed.
Who loves scritches? Okay. We're gonna say the exceptional meal you had will cover will help you recover 2 exhaustion. That's for everybody.
Hell yeah.
The rest is an additional 1. I don't know if you need any more after that, but
I don't.
the bath would have given you another one if you needed it, because that was
Nice bath.
very nice, very
Primo
relaxed.
bath.
And don't forget, y'all, you can also always clear your entire exhaustion track if you ever just hit one of your drives. Or sorry, not your drive, your nature. Keep that in mind. But as for the rest of you, we're gonna first hop over to Etienne. See what I
Up
did
over
there.
to Etienne.
Yeah.
Hop.
There are plenty of swimming spots around here. There's your classic like little beach on the lake, where the kids go out and there's it's like buoyed off so you don't get out too far and stuff. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Apparently I'm the only one that goes to Kansas lakes growing up. Anyway, there's everyone out here knows these waters pretty well. You've been in lakes and rivers before. I guess question. Has Etienne ever been to the endless lake? It covers the entire northern border of the woodland basically, so plenty of opportunities.
I think yes, but not specifically this part of the lake.
Got it. Cool. So yeah, you're pretty familiar with its waters, right? The temperature it'll be this time of year, everything like that. You just regular swim, or you do anything in particular?
Just kind of basically thinking of it as like beach day, except instead of going to beach, it's lakefront beach. Kind of chill,
Mhm.
hop around, hop in and out of the water. Just have a good time.
Excellent.
And
Yeah,
while I'm there, see what I see, hear what I hear.
yeah. You see, you're not in a super isolated part of the lake or anything, right? Probably close enough to the clearing that you see passerbys and such. There's some kids running around playing, rolling the hoop, that kind of stuff.
Hoop and
Uh,
stick.
That's the one. All day long. Some of the Anura kids even use their frog tongue to use the stick and then make it go further and stuff, right? Classic frog folk stuff. You can see the ships coming back in to port off of the lake, right? Full of fish and whatever else they're catching out there. You start to see eventually houses light up, chimneys start smoking, and you can see candle and whatever hearth fire coming in from the insides of them and whatnot. It's a very peaceful, kind of just really nice view of the clearing as it's settling into dusk. While you're out there. How long do you reckon you stay?
Let's see. Dinner ended up at 5ish.
Yeah.
2 hours or so. Yeah, basically as it starts to get dark, they'll kind of think it might be time to head back.
Yeah, fair enough. And yeah, you do so again, uneventful. Nice time. You make your way back to the inn, up into the common room. Do you settle in a bunk near Flaley, or are you opposite end, top bunk, bottom bunk? Where are we going?
Um,
Doesn't matter.
how many of the ones are claimed?
There's maybe a third. A third of them are, so there's plenty of open space. I would think Compatriot picked a spot where plenty of spaces around, so y'all can be near each other. But I don't know how you operate, so maybe not.
Because not to be super close to the door, because that means you're the first that gets attacked if if someone comes in. They also know you don't want to be all the way up against the wall or the window, because then you're you get cornered and you can't get out. So somewhere near
Fascinating.
the middle, I think.
Done deal. Yeah, top or bottom. These are bunks, after all. All right. Solid. You hop on up to the top bunk, settle in, blah, blah, blah. Peepers going out on the town. Anything you're looking for in particular, or just sort of taking it in?
Taking it in, really trying to fight my innate urge to cause chaos. If there's
Absolutely.
small chaos that I can cause, I would cause a little bit, but nothing that's going to make the Lele mad at me.
You got it. Yeah, so yeah, you have a good opportunity to get around, the clearing, or at least this neighborhood, and some more of it. It seems like a real nice place. You know, the area you're all in is not within the Anura enclave, right? Uh, when they're out in the wilderness, they're called swamp claves. They usually settle in swamps.
Swamp clave.
I got books, and by books I mean some pages filled of Anura lore. So just
That's
ask
so
me.
cute.
It started as a like a class I made up for a D&D campaign because I really wanted to be a big frog and didn't want to be a bullywug. And then just I've taken
That's
it
so
to like,
cool.
everything of GM since. Anyway, they're great. You get around, you see other, you know, there's some other inns, there's some taverns, there's some restaurants, other blacksmiths, you name it. You know, they've got them here. Similar to Etienne's experience, you can see the docks, the boats out on the water as the sun starts to kind of settle in. You know, it is mid-fall, so the days aren't exactly super long anymore. And so as you're seeing the sun sort of set or start to set, turning the surface of the lake kind of this like orange pink, right? You just see these ships coming in, dragging wake as they go, etc. People on the docks like winding up rope, you know, making sure everything is tied and, you know, kind of dispersing into wherever it is they go. You stumble upon something of a like a night market beginning to set up. Some stalls are already active and running. Some are, you know, like putting their tent up and whatnot. You're in front of like a particular like please do not scratch my carpet. This is my rug, whatever. Same. Setting you in like a little curio kind of stall, right? Just like funny little knickknacks and trinkets and whatnot. Pretty busy. So you see, you know, there's like something of a little crowd around you. And you hear from kind of back and to the left of you a gruff voice. You seen these three? You seen these three? And you notice there's a trio of Airy Dynasty soldiers
Oh no.
walking around showing like what looks to be like a wanted poster to folks around the market. One of them is a falcon sort of she's in sort of like a studded leather armor situation, bow, long sword, you know, looks like she's armored for flying, right? Because like most members of the Airy dynasties, at least the bird members, can fly with, you know, a sword, a bow, and whatever, but heavy armor, not so much, right? The second, a sparrow, slightly smaller. He's got a couple daggers, like a sharp little beret kind of hat situation, and same, you know, leathers, etc. A small like cape with a hood, cloak and hood. And the last is a hawk, and she seems larger than life. Like you've never seen a hawk that big. She carries. She is in like plate armor, like the whole, like not a whole set, but she's got a breastplate, greaves, gauntlets, but you know, bare arms and whatnot. Not the full deal. Largest maul or the warhammer you've ever seen strapped to her back. You believe she could fly with that on.
Do bird people have arms in this game?
So funny story. Yes. Think I had a really good, not red wall, but yeah, basically yes. Birds have hands-ish at the end of their arms that are feathered, right? You try not to think about it too much, but yeah, they can hold things. But flying occupies their entire arm, so they can't like shoot a bow and arrow while they're flying unless they do it with their talons, their feet. Same with like swinging a sword or usually most of them, if they're flyers, will have a spear. You know, lighter, easier to carry on, gives you a little bit of reach, etc. Perhaps a short bow if they can perch somewhere and, you know, DFA.
Nice.
Puppy, I told you, you can't just like walk on the keyboard.
What a good boy. I would like to
They-
hide.
Uh, yeah. Yeah. Do you have hide as a roguish feat?
I do.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're trying to hide in the crowd. We're gonna call it a roguish feat. That is a
Hmm.
2d6 plus finesse,
Wonderful. So that's a 6.
including your finesse.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck.
But
Yeah,
it's fine. This is just chaos. We like it.
yeah. You attempt to hide within the crowd, but as you do, let's say you're like you kind of get in the middle of like there's like a group of people conversing, and you stumble right into the middle of them. One of them, a mouse, is like, "Who are you? We're trying to talk here," and then just kind of like gives you a not so gentle shove out, and then you tumble right out into the open, um, outside. Just like totally out of the crowd. You're completely exposed. You glance over, you see the trio or like talking to some other merchant real quick. In the moment, but you think you have maybe seconds before they turn their heads and notice you.
Is there something nearby, like a stack of boxes or barrels or just stuff that I can just yeet over and then run?
Yeah.
And I would like to say that I am using something needlessly destructive or damaging to solve a problem for my arsonist nature.
This would be needlessly destructive. Sure.
Hmm.
Um, are there any let me ask you this. What scoundrel moves did you take? Let me see if there's maybe anything we can use to resolve.
I took arsonist, so when I wreck something with flagrantly dangerous means, I roll with luck instead of might, and I took daredevil. I didn't mark off my other one, but I took uh better lucky than good.
Okay. Let's call this also you diving into a dangerous situation without foresight or planning, so you get 1 box of luck armor.
Hey, nice.
Sort of, we're just like, what is this? Running, you know.
Hmm.
Better lucky than good when you use a weapon move. Basically, to mark exhaustion to roll with luck instead of the stats. Okay. Oh, so you didn't take danger mask. Interesting.
I didn't.
Okay, so then arsonist, who's your nature? Needlessly, yeah. So I would say this is needlessly destructive. So if you have any exhaustion, you can clear it because you just like there's like this merchant. You can tell they have cutting boards. I guess
Excellent.
it's like craft wooden cutting boards. There are a couple of crates of them. They look rather successful because of how much inventory they have. But you're able to like snatch one of the ties holding it down, and it goes like tumbling. This guy's like, "Hey, what the hell?" As you go running off, you glance over your shoulder. You see the airy soldiers coming over to see what is going on. But by that time, you've like rounded the corner.
Do I need to roll something?
No, so the nature moves. Then I guess the nature isn't really a move, right? It's just
Mhm.
you say, "I do this thing is very destructive," and explain how you do it and whatever. And if it is indeed needlessly destructive, you just clear all of your exhaustion.
Cool, excellent,
That's the,
fantastic.
that's the function of it. Yeah, is a way to.
I
I had a
didn't
player
have
once.
any exhaustion to fix, but
That's okay. You still did it. It's still, but the thing is your nature, so
Mhm.
it's in line with what you most likely would have done anyway, right? I had a player who took glutton as hers, and it was every tavern. It was like all the food they have, hitting the buffet, gambling,
Good.
just things like that. 'Cause it's like, you just when you indulge in your vices, you clear your exhaustion. So she was like
I love
three
that
wine,
for them.
3 wine bottles, like stuff like that.
Good.
Wild times with that one. Anyway, no, you're able to just by the skin of your teeth, right? Make it back to the gentle moose, and in the door. By the time you get there, you're probably the last one in. Your 2 companions have already settled in. Do you tell them what happened, or do you wait till the morning? Or
No, I'm not gonna tell them. I just go right to bed. I'm like the thrill of the moment has relaxed me, so I'm very tired now and I'm sleepy and happy.
there you go. There you go. Excellent. 3 of you get up the next morning. It's no big deal, right? NB to the D. I suppose your regular morning rituals wouldn't quite apply since you're in an inn and not in a hole in the ground in the middle of the prairie.
A wet
But
hole in the ground.
it was, wasn't it? Waiting for you downstairs is, as promised, your good friend and I don't want to say handler because that doesn't seem appropriate, right? You're not spies. Um, Business associate Stankton Phillips, sitting at the same spot he was when he had dinner for y'all, or dinner with y'all the night before. He has another spread ready, this time pastries and such, jams, the whole breakfast situation out here. But yes, we can actually. Sorry, I in the chat. If you hit thrills, you could take an advancement right now if you just want to like poke around and do it, or we can always wait till the end of the session. But I feel like that would not apply since this is the only session. But yeah, don't worry about it. If you see something cool, just take it. Sitting with him are three Anura. They are not all frog folk. Two are. You see them. They're in traveler's clothes. They are all three armed. As travelers tend to be for safety. There's a war on, after all, right? One is a hare, rather large fella. He is wearing some chainmail. It's got a sword, and that's not a sword, a shield strapped to his back as well. They all seem to be tucking in pretty well. High spirits, right? They're laughing. Stankton's in the middle of one of his typical stories. The dude's got like 5 stories, right? And you've heard them all. You cannot count how many times. You're in 3 of them. So, that tells you anything. He sees you, he's like, "Oh, friends, yes, come on. I need you to, let's meet our patrons here, our clients." This, he says as I look at my mirror board, so I can remember the names I wrote down. To the leftmost, Anura, this one, Toad. This is Anston Brightwater. He is leader of this expedition. And Anston gives like a polite head nod. Pleasure to meet you folks. When I was referred to Stankton, I had my doubts. No offense, but you maybe see why he does not look to be the most reputable fellows, but he told me he had a perfect group for this job. I had my doubts, but seeing you all, I gladly mistaken. I hope we can make this work out, and I hope we can recover our beloved statue. Yeah.
A location for the
kind of,
statue?
Pauses, and he's like, "That's weird." Of introductions still, though. He went maybe a little dark with that. Second, we have Regina Nightsilver here. She's a frog of much renown, one of the best trackers in all of the collective, I hear. And their fellow Schroeder Bunsworthy, a capable warrior and also member of the collective. They both just give you curt. Maybe Bunsworthy does like one of these, like he's got a hat he's tipping, but he doesn't really, And location, yes, as I've said, it's in the woodland outside of Hollowstone to the north on the peninsula. Regina speaks up. She's like, "Yeah, we've been to the site. We know where it is, but we require assistance in bringing it to the shore. It seems to be in an not awkward, but in a difficult to reach part of the woods up there. With the mine and the hills and everything up near Hollowstone. It's difficult terrain to manage, and normally we would go to the collective here, to the enclave of our people, but this is our quest. We do not want to burden other members of the Enclave. However, assistance from outsiders is welcome, is allowed. It is part of our. It is part of our way to seek and offer help from outsiders, so that we may spread our own beliefs and learn from you. So we thought this a good opportunity.
I think we have the same thought, Tori. I think we do.
I'd
My
like to
nose-
roll to figure someone out.
Yeah, no doubt.
Same.
Absolutely. Yeah.
My nose is twitching with bullshit detector.
Okay.
What is the
You
stat
roll
for?
a charm.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm not that bad.
That's a 6 again. These dice hate me. I'm gonna.
I got an 8.
Okay. Yeah, on a 6, nothing happens.
I'm just suspicious.
Yeah. Seems sus. Yeah, on an 8. So to figure someone out, roll with charm. On a 10, you hold 3. On a 7 to 9, you hold 1. Basically, just have like 1 point. Then you can ask any one of the listed questions there, and their player answers the question. So you can always roll figure someone out on each other, and the player has to answer honestly, not in character. And when it's an NPC, I am the player. So anything I tell you, you can take as truth, not GM bullshit.
Okay. I think I am going to ask the question for what does the NPC intend to do? Do they really intend to do this? Do they intend to steal? Does it really belong to them? So on and so forth. Because this is suspicious.
No, okay, yeah, you hear them out. You hear them talking and everything, and you can tell that their intent is to recover the statue.
But is it for like group?
it's-
Is it for what their altruistic gain?
Yeah. So we'll say that they go on, right? And then you gather from their answers that it is a very important part of their history and their culture that was lost to them, and it would not only cement themselves as they would get a name amongst the Anura for accomplishing this, sure, but it is also something of a relic to their people, so it would be great for their entire community if this were to be recovered.
Okay. I don't say anything.
Fair. Yeah. No, yeah, and they tell you how they've just recently discovered it outside of Hollowstone, but at the time had no means to get out of there. They've gotten some gear that they think will be helpful. They just need some folk more familiar with the area. 1, to kind of have their backs, and 2, they said, as you see, there is a war in these woodlands, and we would hate to run into either faction, either side of this confrontation, without some backup, to be honest. So I don't know what Stankton has told you, but there is an air of danger to this, simply by just, I apologize, but living in your land is just dangerous. So that's why we've placed what I believe is a sufficient price sum of payment. I'm still unfamiliar with the currency in these lands, so I hope what we've offered is sufficient.
I think it is.
Plenty.
They want to waste no time, so they're like, unless you have any other concerns, I believe we can hit the road, as you say here. Ribbit. I had to get
You
one
ready?
in at least.
You two ready?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. We should probably get out of town anyway. I saw some eerie.
I'm sorry, what?
But last night there were some eerie people around, so we should probably get out of town. Let's go.
Did they see you?
100% no.
Are they looking for us?
Probably.
No, we know they're looking for us.
Yeah,
Like us specifically, are they like in town looking for us specifically, or are they just in town?
I didn't get close enough to figure out exactly if they were. They did say they were looking for 3 people, but they could be looking for any 3 people.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like what I said. Let's go.
Okay. But Anston and crew tell you, you're the more familiar with these lands, so they leave the method of travel up to you. From Anura's crossing, you can there is a road that goes directly from there to Hollowstone. You could do that and then, attempt to get to the statue from Hollowstone. You could also take the woods traveling move to get there, or this being a known destination, you could just travel through the woods directly to the spot and not bother with having to hit another clearing and whatnot. But how are we feeling? I'd say you can even take the path move and say you could take that to the place as well, since you know exactly where it is, and it's only going to be a small amount of time in the woods if you went that route. I don't want to have to make you make multiple rolls, right?
Do we want to go quick? Sounds like they're in a hurry.
Yeah.
We take a boat.
You can.
Boat's an
That'd be the-
option.
What do you guys think? Boat?
I just, as long as it's like a secure boat and we're not gonna
Oh, can you take a boat? I thought you said vote.
No,
Oh no.
Oh no,
no boat.
because then they
Instead
can't
of
track us
going-
on land.
Instead of going all the way around, so like the crescent shape,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, the thing is, it might take longer to find someone willing to take us.
Yeah,
Then
you'd
it
have
would
to-
just. Then it would be probably quicker to walk there.
Just walk and get
Yeah.
going.
Yeah,
We'll
you
be
would
like
have
halfway there by the time someone's ready to take us.
to charter a vessel. The Anura's own boat is on the north side of the peninsula with the rest of their crew waiting to recover the statue. So they have a boat; it's just not here.
I say take the path, just because if they want quick, we're not gonna have to go through the trees. Yes, people might see us, but
We can handle that. I'm sure it'll be fine.
You can handle that. Okay. Sounds like y'all are opting to travel through the path instead of the forest. So let's talk about speed now. So when you travel from clearing to clearing along a path, we're gonna fudge it and say that's what we're doing here. Close enough, right? You can travel at a relaxing pace, at an average pace, safely, quickly, and under the radar, or urgently fast. And then each of these again have their own set of requirements for what you spend and what may happen, right?
I like safely, quickly, and under the radar, personally.
I
Okay.
was gonna ask, like, what kind of pace do our compatriots look like they want to take?
They have stated they're going to leave it up to you. You're the experts. Their crew on the boat they have provisions to last quite a while. They know this endeavor may take us some time, so they are prepared to wait. We just want to make sure we leave your woodland with our beloved statue intact.
Okay. I'm also kind of fine with safely, quickly, and under the radar. What
That
about you,
seems like the
Kimmy?
best option.
Okay. Safely, quickly, under the radar, on the path.
Cool. So one person will roll with a +1 to the roll, and you collectively mark 1 depletion for supplies. So only one person has to mark a depletion.
I'll mark depletion. Yeah, why not?
Did we
I'll do it.
restore any depletion or
You have not.
okay.
I'll do it then.
Okay.
I mean, you're rolling.
No, I just took a depletion for the group. Who wants to roll?
I figure if you're going to take the depletion, you should do the roll.
Okay, sure. I can do
Yeah.
that. Okay, so it is a +1 to the roll.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got an 11.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah.
Hey,
Let's go.
On a 10 plus, your trip is uninterrupted and quick. Yeah. You you make it down the path to a spot where you see there's like a small split. The main road continues on into Hollowstone. The other goes to the north and it points to the old Hollowstone mine, the signage says. Anston says, this path we'll follow north and then split off from it after a fashion, and that will take us to the statue. I was really expecting y'all to roll bad there and run into these bounty hunters, but the dice gonna do what the dice gonna do, right? So yeah, you had, and eventually, it's perhaps the morning of the second or third day here of your trip, fourth, we'll say. The path you went quicker, so it's like the second day. You were able to make a really good time down the path, etc. Someone pulled, blah 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 blah, and you come upon, there's just this life-size statue of two Anura just in the middle of the woods. It does look like it had been grown over at some point, bushes or vines and things, but it's, it's been cleaned off, but not like fully, right? Regina letting you know that they did their best to clean it up when they were here, but they knew there, more work would be needed to fully restore the piece. It does look to be like dinged and chipped in some places, but for the most part is intact. And it depicts two Anura who look to be locked in combat. They are both in what perhaps maybe Etienne would recognize as like older Anura armor. You'd almost consider it ancestral, right? Like more than a couple generations old. But in full battle regalia, the artist even was able to carve the face in such a way where you can see the like traditional war paint and things they would have worn. One of them looks to be kind of over the other, almost in a leap, but definitely like in a forward lunge. She's wielding a great sword over her head here, and like definitely, about to strike. The other, describe the statue so many times in different streams now. The other is looking to, react, sitting there kind of in a defensive position, a shield held up and angled towards his opponent, and a spear at the side the Anura use is sort of like roundish, kind of oval-shaped shield with like a little crescent shape in it for the spear to kind of fit into to provide like a tighter defense, right? Like totally in this position, looking to just start to lunge. The entire thing is on a large base made of the same what's he say? The same stone, right? It's all just one big piece, and it has a title card carved in the bottom. Like there's like a little like stone nameplate placard kind of situation, and it is titled "Sibling Rivalry." You can even there you can stream like tears that have been carved streaming down the faces of both the figures.
That's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, the Anura, as they approach, kind of all they sort of bow their heads a bit. They stay silent for a moment as you kind of take it in. They said, well, now let's get to work. They pull out, like, not pickaxes, but they have, like, nets, right, that they want to try to drag this thing with. They start, like, tying them on and everything. It's going to be to get north towards the lake shore, you're gonna have to
How
crest a
long?
small hill here. Sorry. Yes.
How big is the base?
Um, end to end, I'd say probably 7-8 feet.
Okay. So if I might make a suggestion,
Mm-hmm.
folks, the best way to probably get this from here to the shore is if we get like, I don't know, like 10 good sized like chunks of cylindrical wood, drag it over the top so it kind of rolls, so we're not just dragging it on the ground with friction. Uh, that would probably be one of the better ways to do it. You're muted.
I was sort of just thinking we'd all like kick it really hard, so like that's a good idea too.
We're not kicking it.
Like, you know how if something like a box is really heavy and you're trying to move it across a room, sometimes you just sort of kick it over and over again and then it moves?
This,
It's solid stone.
yeah.
There's a lot of us.
Is that how you all move boxes here, Regina?
No.
No.
Good.
Works for
I'm
me.
starting to worry.
It's a peeper's way to move boxes.
Ah.
One
Works.
of Peeper's ways to move boxes.
One of peeper's ways.
Another way to move boxes would be to set it on fire, and then it's not a big deal
No,
with the
no, no,
box
we're
when
not
you're
setting it on
moving.
fire.
But no, we're not going to set the statue on fire. It's made of stone; it wouldn't burn. Anyway, I think the Laylee's idea is great.
The Anura agree. They're like, yeah, that seems a brilliant way to accomplish this. They start handing out axes. So I'll start chopping down a tree or two. They're not looking like full trees, just like thicker
Branches, like
longer
thick branches. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're
I
not
think
trying to
this would
fell an
be-
entire tree for this.
I think this would be a trust fate, but I want to like inspect the statue and like see if there's any like hidden compartments or anything on it.
Mm, let's see. I always like to double check the basic moves. I think you're right. It would probably be like a tough trust fate, but roguish feats, cakewalk. Yeah, let's do it. Let's just trust fate. Why not? My favorite role. We're not exactly.
Would like use device play into that as a skill, or
I'm sorry. Would what?
use device play into that as a skill?
Is that one of your
Roguish feats.
playbook moves? Oh. Use device. Oh, did you get that one from the second list of? Give me a sec. New. There's this. Okay, yeah, no doubt. Operate machinery, wield ancient devices or artifacts. You know what? I'll take it. Yeah, why not?
Cool.
Yeah. So if you got that, you can roll with finesse instead.
Honestly, I think I actually would rather roll on my luck.
Go for it.
5, 3, 2, 10.
Yeah, you don't set off any booby traps. That much is true. The only thing you notice as you look and you check for little compartments or things are here or there, is the quality of the craftsmanship. This is masterwork, and it's just makes it that much more confusing as to how it even ended up here. The Anura themselves are not even sure, like exactly sure. They have a general idea, but the events aren't necessarily in the order that they don't know that the events they've heard are happened the way they happened or the order they happened. It's taken them maybe a couple years to track this thing down. Who was trying to help them chop some limbs?
Now that I'm done investigating the statue, will help.
Yeah,
Yeah, anyone
I'm,
anyone does. Let's take a might
Yeah.
roll.
yeah, I'm strong. I help. I assist.
I'm certainly not going to. I have no add-ons to might. I'm
That's
just going to keep looking at the statue because I think it's pretty dramatic.
I
Oh,
have
it is.
fear because I've been rolling really well, so I have fear for later. I got a 13.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah. Not only are you able to, chop some branches, you find like the primo ones, right? It's like you were almost born for this. You
So strong.
for a moment consider shifting careers towards lumberjackery. I believe
my
is
God.
what
A
the industry is called.
lumberjackery rabbit.
Ah!
I see what you did there. That was really good. Yeah. So it takes a few. It still takes a few hours, right? Does anyone post? Anyone like, post up and take watch? Y'all are
I suppose that could be considered what Peepers is doing.
I
sure.
mean, it's in your name.
Yeah, peeping around.
In that case, let's say. Nah, never. I won't do that.
During the
You don't-
tree chopping,
Mhm.
Tian, I think, would like to approach with the Anurans and just be like, so what is the story behind this statue?
Ooh, yes,
Mm.
good.
Not in terms of how it got here, but like it's called sibling rivalry, and like, you know, can you tell me the story about it?
Indeed, I can. Regina replies as Anston is out there chopping and setting limbs along with Laylee. It is the statue is a reminder of a time that we are not so proud of as a people. The collective has not always existed as it does this day. Indeed, we were once known as the Anura sovereignty, all sworn in service to a regent, a inherited line of kings and queens and whatnot.
Oh, another one of those.
During these times, one of the sovereigns, regents, fell ill and died suddenly, quicker than expected. Her heirs were twins, a brother and sister. Predictably, both laid claim to the throne. War divided our people, and this statue is a depiction of their final battle, where they both struck fatal blows to each other. As you can see in the statue, they are both poised to strike the other, and in fact they did. When the dust settled, the fighting was over, our ancestors saw the folly of following people such as them. And that is, it didn't happen immediately, but that was the beginning of the collective of who we are now. We typically commit to stone the image of our most revered ancestors, the healers, the community builders, the feeders, the fishers, those who contribute to the betterment of our people, the artists, philosophers. This is to serve as a memory of where we came, so that we may never fall into dark times like that again. And it was stolen from us, and we are here to recover it.
Stolen by who?
Marauders, pirates, we do not know. Some years back, others such as us, on a pilgrimage to what we refer to as the Island, island of the revered, to find it pillaged, many of our statues, hundreds of years old, destroyed, many others taken, this one chief among them. I don't know why I said chief. This one among them. It was not like it was the leader of the statues. They weren't like out here giving orders. Sorry. But yeah, some that most likely just saw the material value in what was there, not the real value of the island, which is immeasurable. Yeah, these people are always the life of the party. I'll tell you that right now. In the
Yeah,
challenge,
Peepers was not paying attention, and Peepers is doing something else.
fair. Just out there like making little pine cone like needle houses or something. Yeah, it's a yarn. They spin it, and in that time you get your rolly system working. And so I'm imagining it's like, you're able to set it on the roller as it goes. You have to take from the back to lead to the front.
Yeah,
to
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Classic stuff, right? Yeah, as you get going, I'd like each of you to make us just either a might or finesse roll to see how good you are, how much you're able to assist, or how it goes for each of y'all. And if you're not feeling either of those, I will also accept a trusting fate, because why not?
Might.
Go for
Definitely
it.
a might.
Man, I wish I could roll luck, but we're gonna do finesse.
Okay.
I think I'm finesse.
12 again.
Hey, a 9.
Yeah.
Uh,
8. Yeah. You all do well, right? You're able to keep up. The Anura, as between the 6 of you, you manage to get this just immensely cumbersome statue, right? You couldn't even put a number of load on it for how big it is. You're able to definitely get it out of the forest and down this like sandy hill that leads towards the lake shore, and you're able to keep control of it so that it doesn't roll too fast, it doesn't get out of control, you don't break it perfectly. The 2 of you with the 7 to 9 rolls, you're able to keep up, but it means making a lot more noise than you expected, right? There's just a lot more running around, clattering, clanging. When you reach the shore, you look back towards the woods. The tree line is not too far away, but it's a little bit elevated from you are. Above it, into the distance, you see 3 figures flying your direction.
I'd like to think a lot of Peepers noises were just her going, ah! 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 I don't like this! Just as... But now she's really going, ah!
Are those the eerie?
Oh yeah, the people I ran away from last night? Yeah.
They're getting
Insert
closer.
some curses here.
Sure.
I'm just saying that they are. Like, Peepers is just assuming that it's them.
There's no way for me to know otherwise, so
Hmm.
take Peepers at face value.
Yeah. The Anura notice them too. And they say, ha, it seems the war has found us after all.
Is it you? Is it us? Or is it just us?
I'm pretty sure it's just us.
Either way, we don't trust either side of this war. We don't believe neither. We believe the airy dynasties. Air, because they're birds, right? The airy dynasties and the Marquise we favor neither because we back neither. We don't think either is good for your woodland. We dabble in this thing called democracy. You all should really try it out.
Yeah, I'll make sure to just tell all the leaders that we should do some democracy.
Just as a treat.
I also don't like the Marquise or the airy people. So, I'm with you on that. Anyway, we should probably go deal with these people.
Bird
Yeah,
brains.
These birds.
we're not exactly on particularly good terms with the
We're on
birds.
really bad terms with the birds, actually. So I set them
They-
on fire now.
They like you
Yes.
even more when you say that you're not on good terms with the birds. They say Schroeder. Yeah, he hasn't talked much here. Schroeder, Bunsworthy, the hair. I was gonna give him a funny accent, but I don't have time for that. He says, "Well, if you're looking to start a fire, no, he just has a weird deep voice now. Well, that's actually how we're gonna signal our ship. I need to." He's like, "I got kindling. We just gotta. They're gonna see the smoke plume. They're gonna come right for us, but it's gonna take some time." So you see Regina arming herself, which means we're gonna have to hold them off.
I don't think. I mean, I've got a lighter. Click.
Yeah,
We're gonna cook some fowl.
Foul.
Mm.
I mean, we could
Tasty. Let's go.
once we get them on the ground, we could also flip them.
These
Yeah.
actually be considered raptors and songbirds, but sorry.
That's
I'm married
okay.
into a bird family.
Get rid of all of them. It's gonna be fine. Fuck them up.
Yeah, F them up in the bird. Fire, Schroeder's, y'all gonna love this. The three Anura have to get the statue to the shore, so they're not gonna be much help in the fight. We need you to cover us while we prep it for landing or whatever.
Fair.
That's not what they say.
Fair.
Yeah. The figures get bigger and bigger as they approach.
Click my lighter in their direction.
I
right in their
unsheath my
face.
glaive.
Etienne takes out their sword, and I think because he's a cocky little bastard, he's gonna wink at both Regina and the toad.
Mm-hmm. It's like
To be like, I got this.
Good.
Indeed you do. Peepers, Schroeder notices you just have the lighter. And he says, you see from behind, just here's something unsheathed. Arm yourself, and gives you a dagger.
Oh no! I also have a dagger, and I pull mine out. I got a dagger. I just think fire's really neat.
He okay, unbuckles the sheath and gives it to you sheathed. It doesn't hurt to have a backup.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks. Double daggers.
Trust me when I say Peepers is scary proficient at wielding that contraption.
And
He's like,
Peepers puts one of the daggers in their mouth.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes.
Dagger, fire,
Zoro
mouth.
the shit.
Let's go. Peepers is ready to just run at this thing and start attacking it.
Let's
So-
go.
The three approach. You see them in the air. They are indeed the three Airy Dynasty soldiers that Peepers you saw back in the clearing in Anura's crossing. And the hawk is indeed able to fly with all of that armor and that warhammer. It's unheard of. This must be like the Hulk of all the birds, of all of the bird nobility. They land not too far away from you. You'd consider them to be far range, if we're talking ranges in this game. The falcon steps up and she sees, she's like, "You know why we're here? We heard you from the path. I'm hoping it'd be the three of you scoundrels, and looks like it's our lucky day. Giving you one chance to come peacefully.
One chance for
Answer
you
for
to
your-
leave peacefully.
Answer for your crimes, she says. Or I'll keep making rhymes. She's gonna rhyme me to death.
Peepers is gonna hiss and run at them unless somebody physically stops her.
No.
Absolutely, yes. I'm hissing and running at them. I have my luck armor because that's a daredevil move. What's up?
It absolutely is. No, it 100% is. You walk up as you run and approach. The falcon turns to her right to the hawk. He says, "Lucille, deal with this." As the hawk unstraps the hammer from her back and charges in your direction as well. So I'd like you to roll to engage in melee.
Excellent. I just brought that up. Cool. I roll with might, which I don't have a proficiency in, but we'll see how this goes.
I think your dagger has a thing where you can mark where and use finesse instead, but
Oh, yes, I
let me
believe so. Let
triple
me
check.
get
That's
that.
just reading.
Should have written
Equipment's
that.
so fun in this game.
It really
I don't
is.
even know what it does.
Okay, back down to the equipment. 'Cause I didn't write dash. Yes, I can mark an exhaustion to
To
engage with finesse.
finesse instead of might. So that's an option.
Cool, that's what I'm gonna do. Mark
Okay.
an exhaustion. And then I'm gonna engage finesse. Come on, dice. Okay, that's a 6, which isn't great.
You need new dice.
These are different dice.
Oh boy. When you engage an enemy in melee at close or intimate range, roll with might. On a hit, trade harm. On a 10 plus, you get to pick. On a 7, you get to pick. On a 6, you don't get to pick. This encounter doesn't super go your way. You do get a few good swipes in, attempted swipes. The hawk, she's able to sort of dodge a couple of them. You do land one blow, but as it dings against her armor, you can tell you might have like scuffed it up some, but you didn't breach skin or anything. You didn't actually get. She returns with just like a one-handed backhand with her warhammer. It just crushes into you, and you take one injury with that.
Oh, I'm just flying cat noise.
Yeah, we'll
Seeing-
say it does knock you a bit, so you are out of melee range too as that happens.
Seeing
She's-
that, are they all grouped together still, where I can make a bum rush?
Yes, she didn't like run super far out. She sort of just stepped in front of the other two and engaged peepers there. So if you try to storm a group,
I would like to storm a group, please.
let's do
go.
it.
Okay, so is that with might? It doesn't say.
When you storm a group of foes in melee, mark exhaustion and roll with might.
Oh, roll with me. I am blind. Sorry,
On a hit-
I was not. I was unattentive.
Yeah. On a hit, you trade harm. On a 10, you got your choices and things.
Yeah. Have you ever heard a hare or a rabbit scream?
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
bad.
and it's horrible.
Yeah, that's what I do. Please don't look it up.
I'm not gonna.
Please, people
That's
in the
frightening.
audience,
You folks at home, don't fucking
Just
do
don't
it.
do it.
don't do it. So yeah, I do that scream, and I would like to storm a group with my glaive held out in front of me. Right,
Absolutely.
so I'm gonna roll with my. I got a 10. No, I got an 11.
Boom! Yeah,
Yeah.
you do so good. When you
So
storm a
I
group of
get
might.
to choose 2. The first one I would like to do is I would like to use them against each other. I'll mark an exhaustion, and they mark exhaustion again. Oh, I have 2 exhaustions. Got it. And then they inflict their harm against themselves. So I'm just swinging around and dodging while doing this, because that's what I would like to do for one of my choices.
That's effing awesome.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then
Yeah, what's your second?
I would like to show them up and inflict 2 morale harm, because I am just much better than them.
Yeah.
The-
So you absolutely are. You storm this group, right? Lucille, the hawk, sees you coming and is just like braces herself again.
Can I just also say that my armor is unassuming, which has the effect of they don't think I'm any much of a threat as any other vagabond. So this is coming at them extra hard.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's perfect. She's just like she holds the other 2 back at first. I have this.
Do you?
Be just like the other. And you come in, she goes hard with it's like almost a reckless swing, right? Just so overconfident. You parry it and it swings all the way around and crushes the falcon behind her, who then, stumbles a bit. Sparrow, not Robin. The sparrow comes, lunges your direction with 2 daggers like this, like flying up. You're able to just him with the glaive. He knocks into Lucille the hawk, right, and she sort of stumbles as well and kind of falls to one knee, her warhammer propped like this, and she's ugh. When the falcon attempts to recover, she quickly throws a dagger, which you just parry into the sparrow, and it just pierces his leather armor and has him right here. He drops both of his daggers and just flutters back. Can't even get a full flight. He just till he's out of range and just holds it, and he just looks completely demoralized. Right, the other 2 look like they may still have some fight in them, but they've just been stunned to the point where you both have an opportunity. I guess all 3 of you, they're not reacting, so you have you've opened up an opportunity for yourselves to take another action or move or do something else here. Etienne, what have you been up to?
They've been getting up the nearest tree
Yeah, okay.
to then launch themselves off the tree onto probably the smaller of the 2 that is still standing.
That'll be the falcon, Viola Lightfeather, in case anyone's wondering. Maybe she has a name tag and you all see it. No, when they first arrived, she's like, "I'm Viola Lightfeather. I'm here to fucking arrest you."
Fair.
She drops the F's a lot. It's that's what happens when you're
It's a
the
falcon
army.
thing.
It's an army thing. This bird's army. So you engaging in melee?
I think so.
All right, let's do it. She sees you coming, raises, she's got her sword ready for you, but let's say this: the opportunity that your friends create is you take a +1 to your roll, on top of whatever else. I guess it's might that you'd roll with. What weapon are you wielding, by the way? Oh, it's a short sword, right?
My sword.
Got it. Brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, wow. 5, 11 plus 1, 12.
You just keep saying more numbers. That's amazing.
I know. I can't add unless I know the number.
No, I'm exactly the same way. Yeah. When you engage in melee at close or intimate range, that's exactly what this is. You roll with might. On a hit, trade harm. On a 10, pick 3. So out of the 4 options, you get to pick 3 of those.
I think I'll first go with the impress, dismay, or frighten foe. I think frighten, because yes, they're birds and they're flying. They aren't used to having things come from above, on the ground.
Absolutely,
not a
they are
frog.
not. You're right. Especially not a frog. Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
so like that's the first one. I'll like frighten or like, probably frighten.
Mhm.
Um, probably is actually pretty serious harm because just attack from above, all that, and I guess shift range one step, whatever that was.
So you're in close range. That would take you back to far. So you basically are like, you would clear yourself from any attempted counter strike. Like.
Actually, that's perfect because it's the like frog leap, bounce, and then bounce off.
Good.
Okay.
Parkour.
Yeah. As you leap towards her,
With it.
you just see the terror in her eyes because this is so unexpected. You come in. Your sword makes purchase. You get through the leather armor. Uh, strike her in the torso somewhere. Since we didn't pick suffer little harm, you also will take 1 injury unless you have armor that can absorb that, and you take a wear instead. But
I'll
she is
take
able,
it.
yeah, she is able to like get you before you kind of just use her own torso to bounce off of, and you flip back, and
Good.
she tries one last time to swing at you, but by that time you're long gone, right? She's just catching air. With the wound, she's kneeling again at this point. Lucille, get me out of here. I'm
I'll-
coming back for you. She's
I
like,
gladly
oh,
attack them again.
absolutely, yeah. Which one? You can go after any one of them.
I'm going to get whichever one looks the least hurt, just to like make sure everyone's equally hurt.
But it's definitely Lucille still.
Okay, well I'm gonna get Lucille.
Are you rolling with finesse again?
So no, because what I'm doing is I'm gonna use my special weapon ability of Vicious Strike, which is when I strike viciously at an opponent where they are weaker at intimate or close range. So I'm gonna run up.
Yep.
I mark exhaustion, and it says I roll with might, but I have where'd it go? I have better lucky than good, so I'm actually gonna roll with luck.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do. Let me exhaust. All right. Come on, new dice. Let's be nice. That's a 9! Yes! Finally. So with a 9, they also get a blow against me, but they suffer a serious harm and cannot mark wear on their armor to block it.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, as Lucille is trying to, get Viola up on her, she's trying to like slump her up on her shoulder to get out of here. She's got her, but because the way that she's got her, it just leaves her completely exposed in the armor, and you're able to come in and just right between it. Yeah, they howl, like this big piercing hawk screech. They're no longer wielding the warhammer because they're trying to help their friend out, but they do come back around with the mailed fist and then just like crack you as you take 1 injury. Actually, no, that'll give you 1 exhaustion.
Is that something I can defend against?
Can my luck armor defend against that?
Yeah, no, your luck arbor would absorb that if you have it.
Cool.
That's exactly what it's for. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she goes to do that, and you're just able to like gracefully, dodge this. I just whiffs right past you, as she's infuriated, and then just like tries
just to like.
Yeah, again attempts to grab her her commanding officer, whatever, and then try to escape. What do y'all do? Do you let them run off?
I
Or
would.
do you...
If anyone tried to do another like attack while they're fleeing, I'd stop them.
Yeah, I got my 1 chaotic little mean
Stabby
strike
stab.
in. Yeah.
Y'all tore them up. That wasn't even... That's beautiful. That was beautiful.
They'll
Well
never
done.
mess with us again.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not true. That is not true.
That's what Peepers thinks.
I'll take another notoriety with the Erie dynasties.
Hell yeah!
I'm at -2 for the Erie dynasties.
Oh man, yeah, they do not like you.
They don't
Nope.
like me.
I'm still at -1, thank God.
Yeah, as you
Fine.
ramp up,
We don't seem to be fans of
um,
each other anyway, so it's fine.
the as you're finishing up with them, the Anura have uh everything they need. You know, they've set up like they work quick. They've set up like a little raft situation for this. I don't know how it's gonna work. This thing's so fucking heavy. But yeah, their ship, you know, is you can see it on the lake coming in this direction, in your direction. It's still gonna be a little whiles until it shows up, but they thank you, Regina, specifically saying, it's like we couldn't have done this without you. You will, you know, we will be in your debt, more than just the coin that Stankton gave you. He did pay you, right?
He's not paid us yet.
Oh dear. She
If he
said.
doesn't, he's in very big trouble.
Yeah, if he doesn't, I'm gonna stab him.
Anston steps up. He's like, Regina, stop. Or sorry, that's not Regina. That was the bird. He's like, stop, don't here, and he gives you all he's got like 3 individual coin purses, each one with 8 value worth of coin, which is pretty hefty.
So are you saying he also has all of ours?
No, he never had.
Okay, good.
Oh,
We-
that
we
was a joke. It was a funny.
We paid
haha.
him. We paid him a modest finder's fee, but you did the real work.
Okay.
You consider yourselves forever a friend of the Anura. If you need our aid, you only need ask. They offer to they're gonna make camp because they're, you know, it's gonna, like they said, take a minute for their ship to get in, and they want to have like the full daylight tomorrow to move this statue onto the ship. Is gonna be quite a ordeal. They
Mhm.
they offer to, you know, so you can share the campfire with us this evening before you venture back into your own woodlands, or if you go off, we you know, will not be offended, but our hospitality is extended.
I don't want to sleep in a hole.
It'd be on the
I
ground
like
in
snacks
the
though.
campfire. But yeah, it's up to y'all. You're close enough to Hollowstone that you could easily trek back there before full nightfall and, you know, find an inn.
Okay.
It is a Marquise controlled clearing, but it's not like directly controlled by the Marquise. They're sort of just weaseled their way into the government there. So it's not overt control, but is a subtle type. But you feel like you could get in and out safely enough without, you know, alerting anyone's suspicions.
I don't know. This seems like pretty good company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they probably have snacks.
They do. They have plentiful snacks. They packed for a long journey.
Let's mooch off their snacks.
There you
Heck
go.
yeah.
They have extra tents even for all of y'all.
Yep. Watch in case the birds come back.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you set a rotating watch. There's plentiful snacks. One of them does Schroeder, we'll say, does a bit of spearfishing. Is able to roast some fish over the fire for those who are, you know, pescatarian. Otherwise, they're able to forage some other stuff, some foraged mushrooms, some edible greens, etc. Right? Yeah, and it's a peaceful night. You trade stories, etc. Some scary stories, some others, right? Some where the demon eats the princess at the end or something like that. I don't know. But
They have like exaggerated stories of our heroics as well.
We absolutely should.
oh yeah, you know, you can totally do that. Yeah,
They-
you tell them.
We totally defeated a moose, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was the biggest, scariest thing anybody's ever seen.
You set its branch thingies on fire on top of its head.
Totally on fire, and then it had flaming horns. It was so scary.
And then I hopped on the
Schroeder
back and rode it for a bit.
wrote it for
Then I tripped
Schroeder
it, and you did a cool backflip.
Yeah.
Schroeder the hair. It's the mouthful of this like mushroom salad. It's like moose are real.
That's what I used to think before I set one on fire.
Eyes go wide and she's like, what? And yeah, and so on and so forth. The night continues. You know, you all make fast friends and lifelong friends with the Anura, and I believe, gang, that is where we will close for the evening. We want to thank each and every one of you out there for joining us this evening. We have been Sibling Rivalry, a Roots actual play here on Neon Lights Roleplay. Just friendly reminder again, we are running a lovely fundraiser tonight for Trans Ohio, a charity dedicated to providing education, advocacy, support, and community to the Ohio greater transgender community. Please, please, please donate if you can. Links in the chat. I have been Miguel, your GM for the evening. You can find me at Miguel_Classico wherever social medias are sold. Tomorrow evening, you can also find me on the Initiative Orders Twitch channel, where I will be running Midnight in the Marshes, another Root actual play, which takes place in this very same woodland of Midwater on the total opposite end down in Gramble's Log, where our vagabonds are investigating the disappearance of several denizens from the marshes. Yeah, stay tuned. Episode 3, really stoked. See where that goes. Otherwise, I'm not really doing anything else these days. So let's see, players. Who are you? Where can we find us? What are you up to? We'll go same order as we did intros, etc.
Oh, I guess that's me first.
Sure is.
Hi, I'm Akemi. You can find me wherever I exist at the internet as Ninja Penguin AM. Let's see, you can find me here every other Wednesday playing a mecha pilot for Stardust Ghosts. You can find me over at Friends Who Roll Dice Monday nights at 6 o'clock Pacific for Mind of the Martyr. I make games, I play games, I do stuff!
Yay! I think I'm next. My name is Tori. You can find me everywhere on the internet as that nerd Tori. This is the real life Peepers. She's just as chaotic. I'm gonna put her down because she's scratching me. And you can catch me here every other Saturday on Neon Lights Roleplaying as part of Chimeriad, which is a horror fantasy western fate core game where I play a it's super cool. We're actually playing tomorrow night, and I play a very good stabby girl, and I play a lot of little stabby folks. Clearly, and then I'm gonna have some other games coming up that aren't announced yet, so keep an eye on my Twitter. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for having me.
Hello, I am Mare. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. Tonight I played the bigwig knockoff Flaily Buckskin, and and you can find me doing a couple things here on Neon Lights Pro Play on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern. I run a game of Printweaver Pillars of Ink using the Printweaver system, which is a Souls-like gothic horror game. We won't have a session this weekend. We will be back July 2nd. So come check us out. We are gonna hit emotional trauma next session, just like half the other sessions. On Saturdays over on Sword and Key at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, I am your lovely Soul Knife Rogue Stars Druid Centaur Acacia in the nautical game Horizon's Call. That is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And I'm in a couple charity games coming up. One, it's not announced, so just keep an eye on my Twitter. And I might be running a casting call for an August charity game over on Sword and Key. There might be magical kitties involved. And that's all I got. Thank you so much. This was super fun.
This was super fun. Thanks you all for being players in my weird woodland world. And again, thank everyone for joining us. Thank you specifically to Neon Lights for having me. This is a really exciting experience. I hope I get to do it again. Thank you, and good night, y'all. Take care of yourselves and each other. That was weird.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.